Please. Okay, welcome, friends from all over the world.
Welcome.
And we are very happy to be here. And I would like you to mute yourself so that we have only when we speak that we unmute. We are very happy to be here for a new season of informative and interactive New Voices Firesides. It's our platform and a think tank, sharing ideas, learning new things, creating a network, and gaining insights. Insights what Lions and New Voices do. So I would like to start by thanking you for your loyalty, because this is our 31st Fireside. I mean, it's quite impressive when you look back a few years, and we just started in 2019. But having said that, I will go to my next. I have to share my PowerPoint. That's a good idea. So, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. Looking at I have done that. Looking at our team, we have an active team of motivated Lions and Leos to make sure that you receive the information you need. And maintaining our YouTube channel, creating presentations, looking for speakers and interesting topics for you, and also maintaining our social media sites and all of that. So the team members are quite active, I tell you. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone, although there are a couple of team members are not here today, but the people who are here, thank you so much for all you do. Let's see what we are going to do today. The topic is how we turn conflict into cooperation, because conflicts are parts of our lives. Sometimes in the family, sometimes with colleagues or neighbors, and also in Lions. Sometimes we have to deal with conflicts in Lions, in a club, maybe in the district, sometimes even on multiple district levels. So in this fireside, we are very fortunate to have an excellent speaker for this important topic. So talking about conflicts, but also how to deal with them. And we don't always agree on everything. And sometimes we touch something very emotional and deep. So it's an interesting thought to use communication for dealing with conflicts. And I would like to turn the microphone to Dia, our team member. She will introduce our speaker for today.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Good evening to everybody, and we're very happy to see you all, and welcome to our number 31 Fireside. It's with great pleasure that I have to introduce you Vasiliki Christofi, who is an expert in applied communication, soft skills. She's PR specialist and NAMA certified on anger management specialist and CCIS crisis intervention specialist, trainer and coach, and BA applied communication of UK, trainer and coach. And she will assist us and help us to polish our communication skills in order to combat this communication, these conflict problems we might have in our clubs or in our groups. Thank you very much, Vasiliki. The floor is yours.
Good evening, guys. Thank you all for the invitation here. It's my honor. I wanted to share something very important, because conflicts, anger, everything that comes from, when we are not feeling very well and we're having problems with other people, We have to learn how to, find the right solution, find the right, I don't know, solution, find the right communication to solve all the things with positive outcome. This is our goal today. So I'm doing this training actually 2-3 times per week. So I have 20 minutes. I will share with you the basic things about conflict and how we, the art of collaborative communication actually. So Elizabeth will help me with the PowerPoint right here. So we're going to start. One of the most important things about conflicts. Shall we, Elizabeth, to the next slide, please? Thank you very much. Our goal is to learn how to, manage effective the conflicts. This is our goal. Conflicts is one of the most, the common things that we're having in our daily lives. If it's a workplace, if it's your club, your personal life, doesn't matter. So we want to learn how to, manage it effectively. So this is our goal. We want to have growth and new ideas. I always say that conflicts must give us new ideas, new perspectives, a new way how to think and how to communicate with people and not having a negative outcome. So can we start about the conflict? In the next slide, we're having about why is conflict common? Conflict is common based on our perception. We have different perception, among the people. Perception is created from the first time we have a communication with a person and until today. So each person is different from us. Perception is one of the obstacles that we have in our communication. And most of the times, 90% of our times, the perception is the reason that we're having conflicts between the people. So we want to, the first thing that I want you to remember today is that we have to understand that each person has different perception from ourselves. So we have to acknowledge that, to step inside and try to understand their perceptions. We have further on the empathy, but we have to understand that each person has different perception. Even if you grow up, if you are brothers and sisters with the other, you have different perception because it's your experience, it's your communication with people. That's why we want to understand the difference that we're having with people, because perception is an obstacle. Imagine that our perception is like when we're having a communication between us, perception is like you're building a wall in front of you. It would be very hard to, to go to the other side if you don't stick it in the side. So this is why perception is one of the most important things. So we want to learn how to, why the conflicts happen. In our next slide, we're having why does the conflict happen? The first and the most important things is from the poor communication. Communication is the base in everything in our life, everything. So we have to learn how to set up our communication basis, and then have it in front of us and trying to learn how to communicate with people. Our society, our systems in university, in schools, and generally, they don't learn us how to communicate. They learn us how to speak, but they don't learn us how to communicate, to having this interactive communication with people. That's why we're having this problem. The other thing that, triggers our conflicts is the emotional trigger. Each people, and based in their perception, the things that they see, they have different emotional triggers. My emotional trigger is is different from your emotional trigger, because maybe I have a bad experience about some people, about some things, about some situation that I'm seeing in front of me. So every time that I get that trigger from you, maybe it's a word, maybe it's a sign of a body language, I get angry. I feel that something happened. Another thing about conflict is when we have different values of priorities, especially when we're having, in a club, because here today we're here about the lions, but when you're in a team, different people, they have different priorities. This thing make us feel that the other side, they don't understand us. They don't have the same priorities as we are. And the last one, I don't want to believe that we have in right here. It's about the competition, the attention. People, they have different priorities. That's why different people, they have, a little competition. I want to believe that we don't have it here right now, but maybe it's a wishful thinking. I don't know. This is the things, it's the four basic things why the conflict happens. So in the next slide, I'm saying the next slide in order to communicate with Elizabeth better, of course, that we have the 3 steps for the change from the conflict to cooperation. The first step, every time in my presentations, in my training, I like to give some specific examples, to be able the next day to apply it and see the difference. This is my goal as a trainer. So the first step from conflict to cooperation is to see the conflict as an opportunity. It's very important. We don't have to stay in the negative things of the conflict. You have to see we have an issue, we have a problem. Okay, what we can learn from this thing? What is the opportunity here? This is our goal. Every time we're having disagreement, a conflict, we want to learn the opportunity. We want to create new things. Every time that we are having a different opinion from the other side, you have to be open and see the other side. From seeing the other side, you'll be able to find a new way. The new way is the way that I say that is the third way, is the gray way. And it's more important because it's an evolution, it's an increasement, it's something that you are going to find different and you are going to love it. But you have to see the conflict as an opportunity. The second step is to change our mindset. I know that you have learned a lot about the mindset, all the Google, all the social media around is about the mindset, but it's not, you have to set yourself that I want to see the people as a team. It's not about me. It's not about what I'm going to gain from this. We have to see our team, what is going to, what is going to get from the conflict. We have to see the people as a team, not as a person. I know that we have learned from our, from socially, we have learned to see ourselves first and then the team that we're part of it. But when you are communicating with the people, the most important thing, and when you're having a conflict, is to see you, us. It's us and the problem. I don't like the word problem because in negative communication, we can say an issue, situation, a challenge, but it's a problem, I know. So we have to see the us and the problem, what we can do about this. And the step 3 is to focus about finding solutions. One of the worst things that I can see every day in people, in the working environment, in the personal life actually, is that they are trying to win the argument. They're trying to win just to feel better about themselves. No, we're a part of the team. If we're having a conflict and we're still having, this problem all the time, we have to find a solution that we're going to like it at the end of the day, of course, and find the gray area. You have to leave your ego a little bit of, back and see what we can do to find something new and create something new, actually. Next on, we're having the key foundations about collaborative communication. In the next slide. So I put it here the 3 most basic things about, the foundations. These are the foundations. So the first one, I'm sure that you have found it again somewhere in another training or something, is the active listening. Later on, I have the 5 listening levels, but active listening is something that is going to, to give the advantage in every communication. And it's one of the most important things. In diplomacy, if you want to be more, with diplomacy in your communication and find, to be more nice and positive your communication, they say that you have to hear all the people in any conversation, and then you have to speak last, not the first, last. This is active listening. You have to listen what they are saying. You have to see their body language. You have to see the way that they express their communication. These things, they are going to, gather you a lot of information, data, in order to create the perfect communication from the other side, from your team. So active listening is one of the most important things. The second one, the second key of collaborative communication is empathy. Empathy, actually, most of the people, they figure out empathy wrong. Empathy is not like that. I will go to feel your exact feelings. If you cry, I will cry with you. This is empathy, but you are not giving me something that I'm going to use to become better. Empathy is when you're having compassion, you understand their problem, and then after you understand their problem, you are going to give them something to help them. Maybe a tip, maybe your understanding, maybe through your body language, but you have to use the empathy correct. Most of the people, actually 85% of the people, based on the latest research, they said that they're using the empathy wrong. They're using the first step of the empathy, which is to, feel exactly the same feelings as you, but I don't give you something to become better. If you cry, I will cry. Next, what we are going to have next. And the three key of foundation is the openness to new ideas. So openness in new ideas is one of the most difficult things to have in any team, because when people, they don't want to change, they're afraid of the change, they're afraid of the new ideas, the new solutions. When they're afraid, you are spending a lot of time to the emotional curve. You're spending a lot of time to convince them to find something, to find the right communication, to find the new idea more attractive. But if you're open to new ideas, every time the new is different, but we have to risk to get the new idea and do something better. Every step is to become better, not worse. Most of the people, they like to be, in the comfort zone. This is the thing that they like, is because they used to it. But we want to be more, in the new ideas. The people that are involved in, generally, we want people to be open in new ideas, to try new things, even though they don't believe it 100%. We don't care if they don't believe it 100%. If you try it and see the difference, in your emotion, you are going to like it. So you are going to put it in your daily life. Moving on, here I'm starting to analyze about the active listening. Active listening, in my personal opinion, is one of the most important things. And I like the phrase that listen to understand, not just to respond. Every time that I'm saying something to you and you are trying to create your communication, how you are going to respond in your mind, you are not listening. If right now you are having this little voice in your mind and say, oh, okay, I like it. This voice is your perception. If you're having this voice right now in your mind and it's negative, then you're not an active listener. We want to step inside our perception and truly listen what you're saying. So if we want to become more effective in listening, we have to avoid interrupting people, judging people. Judging is the most common thing about perception, actually, and jumping to conclusions. Give the people a chance to tell you what they want. Don't say, don't build the wall of perception in front of you. Ask questions. Questions is created to understand what they're saying. It's important. Question is one of the things that I use all the time with people, because questions make you feel, that you are understanding. You're understanding their perspective. Ask questions. They're showing you are engaging with people when you're asking questions. It's a tool of empathy, asking questions. Tell me what happened. I'm here for you. This question is engaging. And we are using our body language to show that we're listening. When I say body language, of course, is one of the most important things in our communication. But when we're saying we're using our body language, when we're listening, is, yeah, the head nod. This thing give to the other side, to continue their communication and show that you are care enough to listen. This is the most important thing. That's why body language is very important. Actually, you have to learn that body language underlines our communication. Our verbal communication is important. Next slide, we're having the empathy. Walking in their shoes. You know that one of the things, every time that I open the social media, I learn about empathy, but in the wrong way. Empathy, it's about, you don't have to agree with people. You're having a problem, okay? You're telling me your problem. I don't have to agree or disagree with you. I have to understand your perception. If you're having a problem, you're coming to me and you say, Vasiliki, I had a conflict with my colleague and I throw him something. And I say, oh my God, I will never do that. This is not an empathy. You don't have to say what your thesis. No, you have to understand their perception. You have to ask, tell me what happened, and you jump in this conclusion, in this, throwing up things. This is empathy. You have to understand. We don't want to agree or disagree. Understand. We have learned from our, a long time ago, we have learned every time that we're hearing something to say, okay, I agree or disagree. No, we don't care if you agree or disagree. At first, you have to understand what they're saying, what happened, and then maybe you can say that you agree or disagree, or just say your opinion. The words agree or disagree is something that make people more, more angry. We don't want that words. And we acknowledge the people. If we want to show empathy to the people, we acknowledge them. I see that you're upset. I understand. Tell me more. We want to understand this. Here in the next slide, I put you the 5 listening skills. I don't know if I got time to elaborate the listening skills actually, because I didn't show time. We don't have. So we're moving on. The 5 listening skills is very important, and you have to, give attention that we have to stop our inner voice and just listen the other side. Okay, so this is the most important thing about the listening. So we're moving on. Generally, you have to understand that every time you're having a conflict, most of the time we escalate the story in our mind. The facts are more easy to manage. So every time you're thinking, oh, what happened, why it happened, blah, 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 this is the thing in your mind. It's just your mind. The facts, they're easy to manage. So we want to stay in the facts. Facts are easy. Next slide, Elizabeth. So here it's about the openness, about the new ideas, the new solutions I told you before. The most important thing here is to find the gray area. This is the most important. I don't like black and white. I don't believe that is right or wrong. I like the middle one. I like it, the middle one. It's the third way. It's the solution that we want to, to find with people. And we have to avoid that you are wrong, I am right. It's the most common, phrase that I can hear from the people is that, you're wrong. No, I don't like it. You're wrong. No, just delete that word from your vocabulary and create, I understand. I can hear you. I'm here for you. How we can solve it together. This is the magic expressions. In the next slide, I say about the I statements. The I statements, it's the magic way of expression in a conflict and generally in situations that they are negative. We don't use the phrases of you. You are wrong. I don't like you. Everything that is had with you make people more angry. We want to use the statements with I. I feel frustrated. I don't use the you always do that and I don't like it. I feel. Focus on your feelings, on your actions. Don't focus to the actions of the other people. Focus on your actions. And the I statement here about the I statement is one of the most important thing about communication generally with people. So keep in mind that every time we want to say something, that we don't like to the other person, we have to use the I statement, not the you. Focus on yourself first. Okay, the next slide is about finding the common ground, the power of compromising. Look the areas that we are agree. Most of the times in any conflict that we are having, we have the common ground. Find it. If you agree in the common ground, then you're going to, be more willing to get one step forward. That's where we're trying to find the common ground. We acknowledge our shared goals, our concern, what we want from this project, from this communication. And it isn't about losing something. We don't have to win. I don't have to win. We have to win together. This is a team effort. Next slide. Okay, I have 4 minutes. Yes, excellent. So, because, so here I put you how to handle your emotions in a conflict. I know that every time that you're having a conflict, every time that you become angry, stressed, and generally you're having these negative feelings, you want to have right, you want to express yourself, you want to, say something to the people. In anger management and generally about our emotions, we have the 30-30-30 timeout. 30-30-30 timeout is created about the people that they don't have, too much time to relax, to go for a gymnastic every time they are feeling stressed or angry. So every time that we are going to feel angry or stressed about something, you have 90 seconds to do something about this. If you manage your anger in the first 9 seconds, then you are a winner. In order to be able to apply it in our daily communication, we created the 30-30-30. So we separate the 90 seconds in 3 30 seconds. So for the first 30 seconds, sorry, minutes. If we had 30 minutes, it would be great. So in the first 30 seconds, we have to remove ourselves from the situation, if we can. You can go step outside, go to the restroom, or if you can take deep breaths. Any deep breathing is important because it's enable your parasympathetic nervous system. That's why it's going to be more, it's going to be calm from you. If you can't step outside or go to the restroom, you can take the deep breaths and count, from 10 to 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because this one is going to make you more angry. We want, we want from the other side, 20, 19, 18, 17. If you do that, then you are going to enable the other side of your brain and you are going to feel more calm. This is the first 30 seconds. The second 30 seconds, the step 2, we want to do bilateral exercises, left and right. So we want to do this, if you can. Left and right, not in the same time. Left and right, left and right. Because enable your left and your right hemisphere. That's why. If you can't do this, you can do, your feet left and right, left and right. Or 1 second to find something here. Or you can do, this is, or you can do this. You're having 1 minute. Okay, you're having something, you're holding something. You bring it in the second and you change it. Sorry. Left and right, just remember that in the middle, is the balance. We're looking for the balance. You have to do, this and this. This is the second step of the 30 minutes. 30, I don't know why I'm saying 30 minutes. It's 30 seconds. And then we're having the first step of the 30 seconds, which is the coping strategy statement. You have to think something that will remove you from the situation. Maybe it's your last vacation. Maybe it's your favorite person. Maybe it's your, I don't know, you have to have in your wallpaper in your phone something that is going to remove you to feel positive about this. That's where we're having the wallpapers. Find a wallpaper that, they make you feel relaxed, positive. You like it, something you're seeing. Maybe it's your, I don't know, maybe it's your children if you have, maybe it's your partner, maybe it's your, you know what makes you feel better and good. So this timeout is only about to handle our emotions and not have, not to be aggressive and not to start yelling to the other people. This is the technique. You have to try it at the least for a week to be successful, okay? So we have to try it every time we are feeling stressed, we are feeling that we're having, something negative and so on. You have to do this for a week, and then it's going to be automated in yourself. 30, 30, 30 timeout, which is very important. And I saw this technique working. That's why I'm telling to the people that you have to do it. It's, if you are going to choose something from today, choose this. I'm 100% about this technique. Then we're moving on to the next slide about the body language. So we want to show that we understand the other side. So we make an eye contact. You have to look to the other side. I don't like people that they're not looking you. I don't like people that they're watching all the time down. No, it shows that you don't care. This is not about communication. We want to show that we care about the people. We use open and calm gestures. We don't want aggressive gestures. Aggressive gestures about, or your hands like this, it's aggressive gestures. We want to be open. Our shoulders show our confidence, our openness to communication. So we want to be open. Don't make like this. No, make it like this. 1, 2. And we have to be aware about our tone, our voice. Don't be too aggressive with people. It's very important, to be more calm with your voice. In the next slide, I put you some, communication, some words you could say every time that you're dealing with people with conflict or anger or something. I put you some phrases that you could, you are going to copy paste, of course, but you can see that. Let's see if we can find a solution that meets everyone's needs, what we can do to find a compromise that benefit both parties. This is the way that we're solving a conflict. This is our way. We don't want to lose. We want something in the middle. This is our goal. And you have to be open to create, this way. And the final slide, I'm sure, is that the art of conflict, the communication, is to turn our difference into the strengths. If we don't have any issues to solve, then it's pretty easy, I know, but it's not challenging. It doesn't make you better. You have to upgrade your skills, and conflict management is one of the most important skills right now across the world. So that's all for me. I know that 20 minutes is a little about this, but we wanted to share some things, specific, and to find some tips that you can apply the next day. Elizabeth?
Thank you so much, Vasiliki. It was very useful. Actually, I learned a lot from you, certainly the left and the right. And I can apply it even in my marriage, I think.
Of course.
If we don't agree. but it's very interesting. Are we able to share your slides with the participants? Okay, yes. Thank you. We will do that so that everybody can read it again and apply all these techniques. What we are going to do, my dear friends, is we are going into the breakout rooms. Let me go to the question. What I would like you to discuss in the breakout rooms is, what is your experience with conflicts in Lions, and how did you deal with it, or haven't, or maybe still open? It's an interesting thought. So we are going into 5 breakout rooms and discuss it. And when we come back, we will talk about it. And Vasiliki is here to answer questions if you need some advice. Anelia? Oh, wow. That was quite a heavy discussion about conflicts. And I'm curious what happened in your breakout rooms, because there are some trust issues, some issues in the club, between people. So who would like to tell us what happened in their room?
Good.
Anyone? You are all muted.
Rooms, good.
Unmute. You want
Because understand something.
Okay. Yes, sir?
Yes.
Okay, please go ahead.
I am from 118U, Istanbul. I am 30 years Lions.
Okay.
And I different working Lions, member, after secretary, after başkan. My English not very well, sorry. And Zoom chairperson, coordinator, everything. I made it.
Okay. But did you talk about conflicts?
Sorry?
Did you talk about conflicts in your breakout room?
I am listening. I understand, but talking little difficult.
Okay.
I understand.
Thank you,
Yaşar in the group number 3.
International visitors, I am also many country I visit.
Okay.
In
Okay, thank
November,
you.
in November, I will go to Nepal.
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. But we want to hear from someone from other breakout rooms how they discussed the topic for today. Who would like to do that? Dia, in which room have you been?
Yes, Elizabeth, I was in room number 3. Everybody expressed their thanks for being given this lecture, this seminar, because they said that they needed some of this advice and guidance of how to handle and deal with these situations. And we had a number of people describing, either on individual side or on group side, their conflicts, and pointing out that this training is excellent for them. It's very helpful. Listening is very important. Body language is very important. And that being in the shoes of the other person solved a lot of their problems, bringing people who are remote nearer to them and becoming members of their team. Instead of expelling them, they brought them together because they were creating problems, but they treated them in such a way that they brought them nearer to them and gave them the chance to become part of the team.
Okay, thank you very much. I see a raised hand from Fano.
Yeah, thank you very much, Elizabeth. Well, I was in the room number 5, and we shared a positive and a negative experience of conflicts in our respective land clubs. I think that more or less the conclusion is that conflicts occur because people, our members, did not follow a training or a seminar like this one. And I would propose, with the permission of everybody, to download when we receive this presentation and share it with the club members.
Okay.
It is written that all rights were reserved, but I think we can get the okay to use them internally in our clubs, because we often have some levels of conflicts which are not the same as different opinions. Different opinions are positive, conflicts sometimes are not that positive. But you know, the putting us ahead of I, respecting, and as it was said, you know, knowing that the others are neither better than worse than we are, just different, and trying to find out why they are different, it will definitely minimize the possibility of conflicts. Not discussion, not discussion. I like that. I like very much the phrase that says that listening is to understand, not to reply.
Okay.
And if we manage to reach that level with all our club members, then I think conflicts within Lions would be minimum. But then what you learn in Lions, slowly you start applying in your everyday life. So it will definitely help our lives and our societies to be a better place to live.
Thank you so much, Fano. I think it's a good idea to. I have to ask Vasiliki if she would like to give us the permission to share.
Yeah, because it's written the rights are reserved by European Association of Conflict Management, something like that. There.
Yes.
Anger management. Sorry, anger management.
Yes.
It would be very nice if we could at least take some inspiration from these wonderful slides and share it with our team members.
Thank you so much.
This is Pat from Newfoundland. I was just going to ask for permission to use it in my zone chair meeting next week.
Great, great. I think it's a good idea, and these are skills we all can use, and maybe we have to develop a very, very practical training for all of our Lions in Europe, or about conflict handling, conflict resolution, and anger management, because conflict is always between people. As Vasiliki said, it's perception. And sometimes we are so angry that we don't even listen to the people anymore. And that is how we learn to step away from our own anger and just open our ears to listen and not to react too quickly. And the time is actually up, I tell you. We have, I share my screen again because I have my last slide, which is, I promise to send you the presentation we had today, but also what you see here. Can you see it? No?
No.
No.
You should change the screen that you are sharing, Elizabeth.
Okay, I'm sorry. I try again.
We saw your Zoom password, though. I'm joking with you.
And now?
Yes.
Yes, you can see it.
Yes.
As you can see, we are on social media, but all our recordings are on YouTube. You find us with Lions New Voices Europe. If you go there, you find all our recordings of all our firesides we have done. So that is Okay. The next activity we have as the New Voices in Europe will be the Europa Forum in Bordeaux at the end of October. So if you are there, just visit us. We have a session on Friday the 25th in the morning, 9 to 9:45. And there is a session for Young Leo and Lions of Europe get together also on Friday 25, but in the afternoon. And on Saturday 26, Women and Young Lions is the topic. So you will find New Voices everywhere in Bordeaux. And just we are there as well. So just if you're coming, just talk to us. And if you have any questions or if you have any suggestions, I would say let us know. The last thing I would like to say is, and now I stop sharing because I want to see you. The last thing I want to say is, if you are able to start firesides in your own countries, just do it. And you can just use information what we have done. Maybe you copy some of the firesides. It doesn't matter. But we have to expand our platform. And if you do it in your countries, we will help you doing it. So just let me know, let us know if you are into the idea, and let's spread new voices in whole of the world, I would say, not only in Europe. And I would like to
That
thank
would be
you.
fantastic.
Yes, I would like to thank you all for being here with us today. And I would like to thank Vasiliki from the bottom of my heart for your great session, training. And maybe we can get together more often, because I think you have some more interesting topics for us.
Yes, thank you for the invitation. It was my honor. And we'll talk again for sure.
Thank you so much, and take
Thank
care,
you.
everybody.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Nice seeing you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a nice
Bye-bye.
evening.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for
Bye.
the
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.